Hello, Yune-san. How are you? Hello, Hita Water. Hello, Yun-san. I don't think I'm going to speak a lot today because I have some allergies. But yeah, we're creating a hobbit house. Yeah, sorry I had forgot that I've mute, but yeah, I forgot I had mute, but yeah, hope is okay now. Today I don't feel like talking a lot. I'm just going to just model because I have some allergies. So let's create a shader for this here. Let's start with this. I want this to look like I don't know, wall, like a wall material. Hobbit. Let me turn on shortcuts since I won't be talking a lot in this one. I want to use the ambient occlusion to make this look a bit older. Set it to multiply. So we have something like this. Now we can add a door here. I think we can get a circle. Okay. Now let's texture this to look like wood. I hope my audio is now okay. Fabos. I think that looks much better. Let's add in one more wood surface, maybe this. Let's see. Maybe we'll get this. Let's try multiply. I had a question the other day. Do you work in a studio or something? No, I just I'm a freelancer. I do this by myself. I do this by myself. Let me add. Yeah, I think that's more like it. Then I can add something like a color node here if I wanted to change the color of the wood. Maybe make it lighter, somewhere like that. I'm looking at some reference images here, and this I can have this a bit detailed. In some areas. Let me see. That's going to be our entrance. And I think I can also use an ambient occlusion map just to add in some contrast or some dark spots. So this can be multiply. If I use a math node here, change the operation to power. You can make some areas a bit darker, especially those creases like that. I mean, let's do 50 and just add a car ramp. It doesn't seem like this is supposed to be a perfect circle. Looking at some references, the shape of these buildings is more like, let me see, more like a cube, but with rounded corners, something like this. So let's use that as well. I think it's much easier to work with a cube. So this would be mirrored. Can give it a solidify modifier. And then a Boolean. Like that. And then this here, we need to correct the shape of this. Just going to grab an edge loop like this, invert the selection, delete everything else, just straighten it like so. I think I can also get rid of these. Oh, we can create this from scratch. I'll just create a circle, scale it up. Hit F, insert to about that thickness. Yes, something like this. Can give it the wooden material we had just created, and this this material. Just have to UV unwrap it again. Unwrap. And just add in the details. Like so. Maybe this is a bit dark. Something like that. Now we can add in these. These details. Something like that. So that's going to be our entrance. We could make it even wider like that. So that means I also have to expand this Boolean. Let me push this. Now I want to have some details in here as a design, so we can look for some patterns. Can do something like vine patterns. Hello Bobby Y, what's up? Snow and Blood, how are you? Have you tried moving your work to Unreal Engine? Yes, I've tried. I think I also have a tutorial on that. The issue is just it takes a few, yeah, it's quite, it takes some work. I think I can grab these here. Can grab these designs here, just drop them in. Like this. What are you working on today? So today we want to create a hobbit. Maybe I should have split the screen so that people can easily see what we are doing. We're kind of creating something like a hobbit house. Yeah, I think that's much better if we have it like that. So I want to have a few details like this. Hello, Anriman, how are you? How are you? Hello, Illusion. I had a question the other day. Do you work in a studio? No, I work as a freelancer. I just do this at home mostly. Let's create this piece here. Maybe, yeah, we can just use one piece here and just repeat it in different areas. So for this, I can just use a plane. Let me actually first change this. a home studio. I'm trying to create a hobbit. Just do this. And even just extrude this like this if I want to be a bit faster. Then I can select the entire loop, scale it up, select the entire loop, extrude, and then scale up. And just have to realign these and add resolution where it needs to be added. And extrude this. And then extrude this and create a star. I think this is a leaf, so you can just duplicate this, add it here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Something like that. Now we don't need this anymore, but what I can do is I don't know, let me can add in some leaf detail here. So maybe just do something like this. So I can grab and extrude this back like that, and we should have something like this. I'm going to give this a bevel. Actually, you don't need to extrude this, just need to use a solidify modifier. When are you going to update your ArtStation? Man, there are a lot of things. There is YouTube, there is Instagram, there is yeah, so it's hard to update, to keep everything up to date. So I'm usually just updating the things that I'm making money from, like YouTube, Patreon. Yeah, so I haven't really made much from ArtStation, so that's why you see I don't really update it as much. Do you sell finished products on Gumroad? I haven't set up the Gumroad page, but I'm thinking I'll be doing that soon. But most of what I sell it on Blender Market and CG Trader. Do you take commissions work? Sometimes, but not. I don't do a lot of that kind of work. Yeah, so you're going to use a solidify modifier. A solidify for the thickness. And just make sure that it's above. I don't think the bevel is going to work here. You can see if we add a subdivision surface, you get something like that. And the reason we are making this, let me first make sure that I have auto smooth, is let me first add a loop here. Maybe bevel it a bit. Do I need to bevel it? I can actually just select this edge up to around here, bevel that, select these, merge it with the last, do the same for this, and just select this edge loop here and push it out just to add in some extra detail like that. I can do the same for this here. Just pull that out just as extra detail. Now the reason why we were creating this, what email to contact you on, you can send me a message on my Discord server and I'll send you the email. Just send me a message there, I'll send you the email. So here, the reason we are creating this is because I want it to be a design inside here. Do something like that, and actually I can apply the simple actually before I apply this I can make sure that I use only fill, and I can select this outside ring or loop and round it off just like that, just as another step. Grab this. Okay, you want the reference? This is it's just Google Images. That's the reference I'm using. Okay, so this is what we have, and I think I can also round off this edge just a bit, So we have something detailed like that. And now what we can do here is use an array. We first apply the scale and the rotation. We first hide this. I want it to follow this curve or this door, so I'm just going to use a curve, rotate 90 degrees. Now we can get rid of this. Apply scale, apply rotation. Now we can use a curve object. Select this curve. Apply scale, apply rotation. Just make sure that this is in the same position. Now we just have to figure out the right axis. We rotate this 180 degrees. You know what? I think I like this. Let's just reduce the count a bit. I'm going to select the curve. I can even just grab this, push it on the Y, or just select the curve, scale things down. So this one just has to be on the surface. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, wood carving details, yeah. And I can just reduce the offset. Hey, thank you for subscribing. Septian Fowles, really appreciate that. And before I even use the array, I think I can use a mirror modifier up here. You see, I can increase the count here. It simply makes the piece more detailed. Like that. Let's bring back everything else. So that's our door. I'm going to use an HDRI. So let me go to my texture folder add-on, go to my H skies. I think I can use this as the sky. Use as HDRI. And I can see what we have. Let's try a different one, maybe this. Hey, thank you for subscribing. The empty has. Thank you. Yeah, so let's see. I think I'm going to scale this up a bit, like that. Okay, let's create another detail, maybe here. I want to add, let me add a cube. I want it to have the same wood material here. Ctrl L, link materials. Let me see. I think the wall can have this material, but it should just be a different color. instead of a wooden color. Let me just use a mix here. And I can use this as the bump detail to make the wall look rough. And I think I can actually we can come back to this texture later because I am not very sure about it. The wall should be sandy plaster. Okay, let's look for a better material, sandy plaster material. Let me see. Let me go to my walls. I think that's a very difficult material to create, but let's see what we can. Maybe something like that, but change the color a bit, add to kind of a warm color. Of course, the color is going to depend on the HDRI image you use. That's why I see this is different from this, because they're all using this different HDR material or HDR image. Yeah, I think something like that can work. And now let's go back to this. Make sure it's using the same material as this. And so we're going to switch this material a bit and make it, make sure it's using object mapping. Just scale this down. Okay, something like that. Now let's start creating the wood detail here. The first thing I think I can do is mirror this on the other side. And then add a bevel. Yeah, something like this. Just grab this face, extrude up, and I think I can also use a mirror and another mirror here. So mirror like that. And just grab this, extrude. Huge fun. So you're saying it's a bit late there. No problem. The live stream will be The video will be available later if you want to watch it. I think I'm going to use a spin tool here. But I'm glad you chose to join us for the few minutes you're around. Really appreciate that. Andrea from Tocho, go to sleep. A good night. A good night to you. Good night, Jude Fun. So just going to create some extra detail here for this wall. And just get rid of this face, inside face. Okay, then we can also maybe grab this face. Actually, first remove this, grab this face, or maybe add a loop here so that we start from this face to somewhere here, then extrude out like that. Just make sure that this mirror is above the bevel. So we have a small detail, just an extra detail like that. And I can also grab this edge loop. Let me just first remove the bevel so that you see that edge loop there. Ctrl B, add some resolution. And if I go to the bevel settings, I can change the profile or the shape so it looks like that. And if you want to be more detailed, you can even change the profile to a custom profile. Let's use a cornice preset. Just increase the subdivisions. You can even turn off this for a second so that you can see how this is coming out. Maybe steps. No. Let's try cornice, crown, turn back the bevel. Okay, this is going to interfere with our bevel, so I don't know, maybe we shouldn't use it because I want to retain the bevel, and adding that kind of detail might mess it up. So let me use a simpler cornice. So let's use this version, less segments. And I think we can get rid of, we first make sure that I remove the distance. Yeah, so something like this. I plan to buy some of your plugins. Can I get 2-pack or 3 bundle? Yeah, the best alternative, because I haven't set that up. You did ask this and I just forget to do it, but I think I will do a discounted version with, yeah, like all the add-ons are for, I don't know, $50 or something. I will create a discounted version for you guys. Select this face, insert, now we can also add an insert somewhere here. Scale Z, grab this face, insert it. I don't want this to be there, so I'm just going to delete it and then extrude in like so. Okay, now we have already created this piece here, so we can use it here. So Shift D and snap it to this position. I'm just going to remove the curve object. And we just rotate this X. And take this 180 degrees. And you can see, without doing a lot of work, you can add some quite interesting detail. Yeah, so something like there. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Arunav Bhatt. Thank you. Alt F for grid fill. Alt F. I didn't know you could do a grid fill. I think I can grab this leaf, Control L, Shift D, have it. Maybe as a piece here. Good. What are your PC specs? i5, 8 GB of RAM, and 1060 3 GB. Okay, that's our door. I think we can also just, let me see. Let me add a sun. Where do we have 3 copies here? And I think we can do another piece here. So I'm just going to duplicate this, rotate it 90 degrees here. Maybe even pull this and this out a bit, like so. Duplicate this, rotate it 90 degrees. Just have it somewhere there. You got to increase your bit rate. So it's kind of getting pixelated. Is that it? Yeah, I should. Because if you have your bit rate a bit low, it becomes too pixelated in the live stream. Yeah, I'll try to do that in the next live stream. I think I'm going to grab an edge loop here, something like this, and since it has all the profile information, as you can see there, actually I don't need this vertex. Since it has the profile like that, I can just grab it from here, add my cursor around here and use the spin tool, and that should give me a nice rotation like that. But I think, yeah, actually that's it. Just need to play with this. Let me first get the orientation of this right. It's too far. Around that. Okay, then I just grab this, make sure I have clipping turned on. So we have, let's see, we have now this detail here. We just shade smooth. So we have this piece here. Can grab this edge loop, hit extrude, then grab this piece, then push it out like that. I think I can extend this using this spin tool just a bit out around there. Can just remove some of the segments. I think I can also just grab this. Actually, I think it's better where it was. I'll just have to extend the roof up just a little bit. Or something like that. Okay, we need to give this an ambient occlusion mask. So this is the ambient occlusion. We add a math node and play with multiply. Let's use power. Let me see if I increase the distance here. Sorry, the distance here. Doesn't really do what I want. Yeah, this is exactly what I wanted. Just need they might have fixed this, but because usually the last time I was using this, it wasn't working. The distance wasn't working. It's yeah, I wanted to have that. Let me first increase the samples here. And now I can just multiply this over that, and you can already see this is just going to be the factor. And I can make this darker. Oh, let's just use a multiply. You're also a carpenter. Looks good. Yeah, I guess if it fails in real life, if you fail at something in real life, you can just become super good at it in 3D. But no, I'm not a carpenter. Okay, so this is where we are, and I think I can change the color of this here. Come back this, reduce this a bit. Maybe change the distance to something like 3. Good. And I can come to this. I was also using the ambient occlusion here, but I wasn't using the distance value here. So let's see. Okay. And since we have this, actually I also want this to have this detail. So I'm going to grab an edge loop here, this here, Shift D, hit P, and then convert this to a curve. Because what I want to do, let me actually first get its position, origin to 3D cursor. Grab this, Shift D, position it there, and add a curve modifier. Select that curve. Just have to figure out the right rotation. Let me first apply the rotation of this. Now let's see if I rotate this 90 degrees. You can see now it's you will be a best Blender teacher, Blender teaching YouTuber. Thank you. Let me mirror this on the Z. Let me just so I want that detail to be visible as well on there. So grab this on the x-axis, increase the count like that, and we have that detail over there. I think we can also use it here. So let me rotate this x 90 degrees, push it up a bit, and grab y, have it there. I think we can have this inside an inset, so I can just select from there to there, insert, and just grab this face and remove it. Now you can bring this in. So you just have to increase this like that. And the other thing we can do is just grab this piece. Let me first turn off the mirror on this side. I can just use Shift D, have this somewhere here. I think I can use, instead of using this mirror, let me see, y-axis. But first, let me first bring this back. Turn off clipping. Turn off clipping. I want this somewhere like this. I want to turn on bisect, so we have something like that, and I can bring this even closer like that, and let's see where we can place this. We can have that somewhere like so, and I think we need to extend this on the, make it a bit wider so that we can reveal that detail, maybe somewhere like that. So all we have to do is just grab this piece. Hey, thank you for subscribing, George Soniv. Just grab this detail. Maybe, I don't know, just have it, yeah, somewhere like that. And I think I can grab this this piece here, shift deduplicate it, and push it back a bit, and maybe even give it a slight rotation. Just pull it back. Have something like that. Again, you can use this detail here. I'll rotate this 180 degrees. Like that. And I can have it mirrored on the y-axis like that. Or something like that. And I think we still back a bit. And I'm going to grab this piece here. Actually, everything here. Shift D. Okay. I need to grab even the curve. Actually, I can just grab just this. Shift D, apply mesh. There I don't have to deal with that. Actually, no, I need everything here, including the curve. Yeah, so I can move them at once. So Shift D, I want this to be moved here, because I want a window here. I'm just going to add this here and make sure this also uses this as a Boolean. And I think I can grab all these pieces and push them just a bit back. And this has a Boolean with a larger thickness, like that. I think this should be wood instead of this kind of tile. This needs to be duplicated so that this uses that as well. So this can be wood. So let me go to my PBR. Let me actually just grab. Now let's try using the same material as this. Control link material. Yeah, I don't think this is too bad for the wall there. I think we can also grab an edge loop from here. Shift D, P to separate it. I think Shift D and then P to separate it. Where is my piece? I think. Let me just grab this. Shift D, P. Yeah, this is what I want. How many years have you been using Blender? So I started using Blender in 2010, but I've not been using Blender consistently. That's the difference. I want to just grab this so it's around there. This is going to be like our cornice. Let me just pull it in a bit. I give it the same wooden material as the floor. Right now you can see what we're having. Then let me first unhide everything. You can see we have that edge loop. And what I'm going to do is apply the solidify modifier and select this edge loop. Give it a bevel like that. So we have it going around everything like that. And I think we can grab this, Shift D, grab it into the middle, move it to the middle. I think I can scale it up like so. I don't know how big I want this to be, but let's see. Just want to have a centerpiece like that. I think I can also I think I can have this actually mirrored on the Y like that. And I'm just going to grab this piece and rotate it 90 degrees. Somewhere here. Also going to move my cursor there. Maybe not. Just not yet. I only want this curve. I don't want the rest, so let's just delete that. Want this piece here. And just set the origin to be there. Have this be mirrored. Custom profile on the wood molding. What do you mean? I think I can do something like that. And we can also add this again. Shift D, raise this 90 degrees, have it somewhere there. Maybe scale it up a bit. And again, this we can duplicate. So we have yet another ring somewhere there. Just going to grab this. Can you create a Harry Potter interior? I guess I can. I'll look into some reference images. I think we can have this rotated to be at an angle. Somewhere like that. Now, let me add a sun just so we can have some lighting going on. Something like this. These changes should be mirrored. So that means our mirror modifier has to be below everything. Down on the rooftop, at the top of the ceiling, you mean a custom profile? Where? Down on the floor, at the top of the ceiling. Down on the floor. I'm not sure I understand. All right, I think I can also mirror this with entire piece on this other side. I think I can add in more details. Let me grab a custom profile. This the same profile we have been using. Maybe this here. Shift D, and then P, separate it. Then I can just grab it. I don't need this middle part. Just need to rotate this on the x-axis. Then extrude something like this. Let me shift N to recalculate normals. Apply the scale. Maybe let me mirror this on the z-axis. Just grab this edge loop, extrude, and then extrude again and have something like that. Origin to 3D cursor, or origin like a crown molding. Yeah, I understand what you say, but where you want it to be placed is what I'm kind of failing to understand. Okay. Yeah, so something like that. Let me create another cube here. Give it the same settings or modifiers, and then the same materials. Just apply auto smooth, and under bevel we should have harden normals, shade smooth. Just also remove other faces on this side. Apply rotation. Okay. Actually, I need I can add a loop here. Actually, I don't need to do that. I can add a circle with just 16 shift A 16 vertices. F, insert, extrude, shade smooth. And first reduce the bevel here. Simply this. Let's grab these edges. And I think I can just you can add in a few details in here. I can just grab this, insert, then insert in, insert, and then I think I can just do a simple detail like this. Push out, just so we have something going on in there and not just a plain cube. And I can grab this bottom piece, just duplicate it up. this. Apply this mirror, and yeah. Let's try using a sky texture. Let's use the actually, let's just use an HDRI image and go back to my texture folders, go to the sky, just get this. I think we can add a circle like this. Just going to subdivide it. Just extrude up like that. And I just want it to have an emissive material to simulate overexposure in the background there. So I can turn on bloom and then screen space reflections. It doesn't have to have shadows at all. Maybe something like 4. Let's turn the sun up. Like that. Just play with the contrast here. Indirect lighting, I know. Color. Doesn't have to be something like that. I'm also going to go into the bloom settings here. Just increase the threshold a bit. And if I go to this material here, for some reason it's using, should be I want see let me change this to mix. Okay, now let's actually have the sun come through the door itself. Maybe the door itself has to be a bit bigger. Let's grab these pieces. Yeah, so something like that. And I'm not sure about this floor. I could have used tiles, but I don't think I have a lot of tiles. Let's see if I could get an image. Let me go to my folders here. Maybe we can even add a door, an actual door that opens. Just going to maybe grab this circle, convert it to a curve, to a mesh, hit F. Oh, let me try Alt F for grid fill now. Because I want to have this separated, I can do this, use Ctrl F for bridge fill, or I want to select these edges and these edges. I want to do a bridge fill for these, so let me just do Shift B, edges, bridge fill. Like that. Okay. And I think I can connect this as well. Yeah. I want to give this first a solidify modifier, then a bevel, auto smooth, and then Madara. Insta, I don't use Insta a lot, but I'm planning to become a bit more active there. So this, going to select these edge loops here, and if you hit, I think it's Y. Actually, it's not Y, it's V. It's V. You can separate them, so we have something like this. And I'm going to use the same material we have for the door. Let me just first unwrap it like that. The only difference I'm going to do is import another image. So I will go to my wood and grab a material like this, or like let's try this. Import texture. Just import it in. So this is how it looks. Let me just make sure it's using object mapping and box, and rotate it 90 degrees. Now I don't like the texture. Let me switch out to maybe something like this, or switch. Still not the best. Let me move this a bit, maybe scale it up a bit. I don't want to see this seam, so I'm going to stretch this maybe. Okay. I need to make sure that this is a separate material, so that I don't change anything else. Yeah, I want this to be scaled and maybe moved up a bit. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to use. And the only reason I want this is to create a mask from it. There's a black and white mask like this. And I'm going to mix it with the color. The mask is going to be our factor. So I can have this as, and this is going. It's a bit too shiny, so let me add a math node. Yes. Maybe I can just blend it with this. Okay, let me use a color mix RGB. Just to control how rough this. I think I can also add a vector bump map using a mix of this. Just bring this down quite a bit, something like that, and we have our dough. Another thing I can add in, I can grab a sphere as an icosphere. I don't know, an icosphere here with a few very few subdivisions, or just use a cube turned into a sphere, just with a fewer segments. Apply geometry to mesh, shade smooth. These are just going to be like decals or decorations in the dough. Now we can use it, they can use the same material as the dough. And they just have to be repeated a few times. Something like that. I can just join this to this. Just actually what I want to do is just give this a vertex group. Okay, I think this, before we add them, you can just keep them as separated objects and just have them parented to this. And the thickness of this can be a bit thicker, and you should use a separate material. This material here, so you can go back to this, and under materials I can set the rim to use the second material like that. And I want to have its pivot point there, so I'm just going to select this, parent it to that. So just grab this. Actually, the hinge should be here. Hello, Hash Panika. How are you doing? Just going to grab this. Okay, this shouldn't have this as a parent, but this should have this as a parent. I see. This shouldn't have a parent. Let me repeat this. Hello, Burning Trap. Hello there. Always on the creative end. Do you get a creative blockage where you have to chill for a while? Yeah, I do. I do that a lot. That's why, and mostly when I get a creative block, I usually just go into programming. I just go and do some programming that way. By the time I come back, yeah. I think this can be this material. So it's always good to at least to be doing more than a few things. If you get bored of this, I just jump into another thing, and that's what I do. When I get bored of Blender, I jump into Python. Let's grab this. Change the sun direction. Yeah, something like that. And I think we can make the sun have some bit of soft shadows by just changing the angle. Maybe to something like 5. Let me see if I have some images that I could use here. Go to my, actually in my downloads. Let's make sure I'm not showing anything. Let me get a forest from Google, a forest image. Forest. Something like this. And use it as think I can blend this with mix RGB. Yeah, man. How are you, Panika? Good. All good. Great. Do you have many orders for your work? Well, it depends on what you mean by many orders. But I do get orders. I think one thing I can do is change the color of this a bit and make it a bit brighter. Job that gets paid, mostly if you're asking for paid projects, I stay away from those because I have a lot of things I'm doing. I'm handling my YouTube channel and doing other stuff, so I rarely take on jobs like that. But they do come through my CG Trader account. I just turn them down a lot because I end up not having time to work on such projects. Let's see how this looks in cycles. Just make sure that this is not being rendered. Just switch to GPU, go to my outliner, select this. Do you like to play games? Yeah, I do play a lot of games. Actually, don't play a lot of games. I just play one game. That's Age of Empires most of the time because I don't really have a lot of time to play video games nowadays. Yeah, but I do like playing games. Do you guys ever get time to play video games? Because I kind of becoming a bit difficult for me to find time. Cyberpunk? Yeah, I've watched that, but I haven't played it. Is it as bad as people claim it to be? Because I realize most people don't want it. And first, since I'm in cycles, let me try the sky texture. I think cycles gives us. How do you finish a project? I started one and I still didn't finish it. Well, I don't finish projects really like I finish them that much. So it depends what you consider a project to be finished. So for me, at this level, this project feels like it's finished. All it needs is adding furniture and other things, which I don't think I'm going to do, at least not in this live stream. So I consider that this may be at least nearly finished here. So it depends on what you call finished, what you might define as finished. Let me try 90. Let me first get rid of the sun as well. Let's try -45. Oh, thank you, Waifang, for subscribing. Really appreciate it. And let me just set my camera here. Let me go to the settings here and play with the exposure a bit. Maybe can increase on the roughness just a bit of the wood. And what we can do is also, okay, this light shouldn't be there, but what we can do is have a light around here, an area light. And since this is a sphere, you can change this to a disk as well. And do the same for the entrance here. Thank you, Z Animation. Thank you. Let's go back to Eevee because it's much easier to control things. Alright, let me go back to the exposure and just set it back. Just going to go back to the world settings and just use, let me go back to my texture folder. Go back to the skies. Let me try this. This has to be mirrored on here. You do not bake. Yeah, let's actually, I haven't done that in a while. Let's test how indirect lighting would work here. I've not used indirect lighting in a while because it doesn't usually give me good results. Maybe my settings are not the best. But let's try it out today. So with indirect lighting, we need a few things. We need an radius map. Okay, I think my scene is also quite large. It's 50 meters, which is going to cause a few issues. So just grab everything and just scale it down. Accept the camera. Okay, let's see how much damage we have made. I need to first undo this so that I select also the or something like that. And thank you for subscribing. La bike Yabal Fuzzy. Okay. Okay, this should be somewhere. I'm not sure. Okay, so it's let me first make sure this is grab Z, Y, X, Y. Okay, this should be I'm going to apply because I want to move this, but it doesn't seem like it is letting me to do that. Now, let me first get that, then I'm just going to apply. I'm just going to apply everything else. Visuals to geometry, so that we don't have, and I'm just going to reset the origin. Just cursor selected so that I can center this. Okay. I think I can just grab this piece, have it be up like that. So the only thing that is lacking here is furniture. And let's try the radiance map, bake some light and see. Okay, let's go to the settings here and bake the light and see if it will change the scene. Okay, I think I'm seeing some difference, but it's not. The difference doesn't seem to be that big. Let me. That's without. Okay, so there is some difference. If we bake lighting. Of course, we can add in more details in different areas, but I think for this project, I'm going to call it done. This has to be mirrored. Mirrored there. Same with this, has to be mirrored. And you can also try, let me make sure that I have contact shadows turned on for this. Go to cycles. I'll just turn off this. I think I can go to the asset library. Let's first switch back to cycle to Eevee for a second and just populate this with some assets. So if I can go to, let me see, do I have any interesting stuff here? Trying to see if let's go to furniture and see what kind of furniture I can add in here that fits all that can work here. Most of this is modern furniture. Wouldn't really work in a setting like this. What about curtains? Would curtains fit? I don't think so. Both might fit. So let me see, maybe I'll just have it here, lying on the floor. Add another book. Now I'm just doing some set dressing. Maybe someone was reading a book here. Let's see, what else can I add? More things that I have, except this table maybe could work for this scene. Actually, I could just use the same material that we have already been using. What about the rug on the floor? A rug on the floor, I think I have something like that in my, I have rugs in my cloth library. Okay. I have a bug in there. Let me first fix that. I have a bug somewhere. Let me first fix that. So, and it shouldn't be there for some reason. Oh, it's rear path. Okay, why is this bug? BPY utilities. Okay. Let me first fix this for a second. Just give me a moment. Is it line 10? bpy.utils. Window. Line 10. Functions, line 10. Anyway, not sure what, I'll come to that later. Just getting me more confused. But I have a rag. Let me go to my decos. Let me first go to my medieval assets here. And thank you for subscribing. Our Flame Crew 9 at Roblox. Thank you. I don't really have a lot of medieval stuff. Let me go back to my furniture. And look at some chairs. They're all not medieval. Anyway, so I'm going to end this stream here because yeah, I would need a bunch of assets to make this complete, which I don't have right now. But yeah, this is what we have done today. Let me first hide this for a second. Just loved the detailing we did here. Yeah, that's it.